Hey guys, CryptoDad here again, and there's a new version of Ledger Live available for download, so I'm going to walk you through the process and help you get everything set up. So let's get started. So there's a new version of Ledger Live out. The easiest way to get it is simply to launch your existing Ledger Live and do what's called an inline update. You'll notice when you first launch your Ledger Live that there is an orange banner here at the top alerting you to a new version. Also, there's a purple dot over here on Portfolio. That is another indication that you've got a software update. Notice also there's a purple dot down here next to the My Ledger section, which means that there are some updates available for the device itself. Now, at the moment, I don't have my device connected. You can run the software updates for Ledger Live without having the device connected. So I'll go ahead and demonstrate that right now. We'll hit download update. All right, and it should switch to update ready to install. We'll go ahead and click install now. Go ahead and authorize that. And then when it's finished, we can hit run Ledger Live. All right, and then the release notes will appear the first time you launch this. All right, so the first big one is EIP-1559, which will affect your Ethereum transfer fees. This is going to give you a more predictable readout of your estimated Ethereum transaction fees and even give you a reimbursement if your transaction processes with a lower fee. Also, another standard that Ledger Live now supports is EIP-712, which will give you a more understandable reading when signing transactions instead of the longer hexadecimal outputs that you've seen there before. And then they fixed a bug that affected the value of the Cardano tokens being displayed incorrectly. So they fixed that. We'll go ahead and hit continue. I did want to cover some troubleshooting. If the inline update is not working for you, from within Ledger Live, if you click on the banner and nothing happens, or it never downloads completely, or somehow the install glitches, there's a way to update your Ledger Live without doing the inline update. And it's really simple. All you have to do is quit your running version of Ledger Live, go over to the Ledger Live section on ledger.com. You can find it here. And just download the app for your platform. You can drop that into your downloads folder, right? And you'll have the installer. You can see that the installer tells you which version it is. So you'll want to make sure, if you're on the Ledger Live website, you will get the latest version of the Ledger Live installer. And just go ahead and run the install. Even though you already have Ledger Live installed on your computer, this will go ahead and update it to the latest version. All right, just go ahead and run this. Make sure that you have exited the version of Ledger Live that you are currently running. And when you run this install, you'll be done and your Ledger Live will be at the latest version. It's really easy to check. If that was the first time you did it, you'll see those release notes. But you can also go to settings, over to about, and just see over here that you're running the latest version, 2.50.0. So I've managed to do the software update. Notice that we still have this dot over here in the My Ledger section, indicating there are some updates available for the device itself. I would assume that there's probably an update available for the Cardano app. So I'm going to go ahead and connect my device with my USB cable so that we can enter the My Ledger section. All right, so once you get your device plugged in, you're going to need to get your PIN entered. All right, and you'll want to be at the home screen of the device where you see all of the apps. You don't want to be within any applications. All right, so once we've done that, we'll go over here to My Ledger. And you'll want to allow Ledger Manager by clicking both buttons quickly at the same time. All right, and as you can see, my firmware is up to date. You'll want to double check that. make sure that your firmware is up to date. If it's not, there's a button over on this side that will allow you to run the firmware update. Nothing to be afraid of. You should always make sure that your device is running the latest firmware. And then the indication for an update is here where it says update available. And as I suspected, it's the Cardano app which needs to be updated. So we'll go ahead and click update all over here. All right, you'll see a loading screen on the device as the device app is updated. All right, and when it's done, it should just take you straight back to the home screen of the device. You'll see in the My Ledger section that everything is up to date, right? There are no app updates, and it's telling me that my firmware is completely up to date. All right, now we can go back to accounts. Let's go ahead and take a look at the Ethereum transaction section. Now, if you would like to get back to the release notes for the version of Ledger Live that you're running, you can go up here to the settings. Just click on settings and go over to about and version, and then you can click details if you need to get back to any of this. All right, so we're going to go ahead and check out these Ethereum transactions. Now, when you transfer Ethereum in and out of your Ledger-based wallets, you're going to pay fees when you make your withdrawals from the exchange. And of course, that's not going to show up on your device at all because each cryptocurrency exchange has their own way of dealing with Ethereum transfer fees on the Ethereum blockchain. It's usually built into their withdrawal fees. So what this update is talking about are the native fees that you're paying on the Ethereum network. These are not fees that Ledger Live is charging you. These are fees built in to the Ethereum network, and you will generally see them when you're doing outgoing transactions from your wallet to somewhere else. You could be sending Ethereum from your wallet over to an exchange or to a friend or just to a different wallet, right? Now, you can manage multiple wallets in Ledger Live, and I just happen to have two different Ethereum accounts. I have one that I call Ethereum Main, and I have another one down here that I call Ethereum H, and they're both associated with the same device. So I'm just going to play around with the transfer so that you can see it. Of course, you wouldn't want to just move Ethereum back and forth unless you were managing your Ethereum. So I am going to be incurring some fees, but they're just for purposes of this demo, right? So I don't want you to wonder to yourself, why is he doing this? I'm doing it for you. That's what I'm doing it for. So there's a small amount of Ethereum in this account, and this account has a smaller amount. So maybe in reality, I wanted to allocate a little more Ethereum over to this account to cover fees, swap fees, and that sort of stuff. So when we transfer crypto from one wallet to another, we start with the destination wallet. So I'm going to go into this account and I'll click the receive button because I need to get the address of my receiving wallet. So we'll hit continue here, and we can verify this on our device if we want to. Right? It wants us to open the Ethereum app. We can also skip this hardware check if we want to. If you're confident that you know the address of your wallet, you can skip this part, but I'll go ahead and go through it here. We just open the Ethereum app, and it's going to display the Ethereum address of the wallet. Just advance over using this metal button, and there's the address. And as you can see, I've got the address on my screen. All right, I'll just copy that into my clipboard, and then I'll advance over to approve, and we're done there. All I was basically doing was getting the receiving address of my destination wallet. All right, so now we can go back to accounts. We'll go up here to this account, and now I'll click send. And I'm going to paste in the address of that destination wallet. I'm just moving Ethereum between two of my own wallets. So I'll click continue here. Now, this is the new fee interface, giving us a breakdown of the estimated Ethereum fees that'll be required to make this transfer. All right, it gives me my maximum spendable amount up here. I'll just do 0.05 Ethereum. It's a pretty small amount, but it'll give you a good rundown. It's going to cost me 79 cents if I just leave it at the default, and the estimated transaction time is 30 seconds. And then if I were a bit impatient and didn't really care that much about the fee, go ahead and speed it up if I want to. Notice the fee is slightly higher for this. And if we are trying to save money, we can use the slow section, which is going to be 2 to 3 minutes. I generally stick with medium, but since it's a small transaction and it's between my own wallets, I'll go ahead and choose the lowest fee structure. Now, as I mentioned, if I don't pay 76 cents, it might come in lower when we actually run this, right? These are just estimates. And if it comes in lower, then they'll reimburse me. So I'm not sure if that's going to happen in this transaction, but we'll see. We'll go ahead and click continue here. All right, and it gives me a breakdown of what's going on. I'll click continue again. And this is where I sign the transaction. This is the security of the Ledger device. The private key for this wallet is being stored on this device. So in order for me to transfer crypto out of the wallet, I need to sign the transaction. So in order to do that, I'm going to manipulate the buttons, right? So it asks me to review the transaction. I'll go ahead and advance through. There's the amount I'm sending. There's the address I'm sending to. There's the Ethereum fees. And I can click accept and send. All right. And then I can view the transaction details here. All right. We can even go check this out on the Blockchain Explorer if we want to. All right. It looks like it only ended up charging me 41 cents. As opposed to that estimated. All right, and then we can go back out to the main section, scroll down to that receiving wallet, and wait for the Ethereum to come in. All right, and as you can see, it showed up in the wallet. Just to give you an overview, I'm not really moving Ethereum from one wallet to another. I am, but what's taking place under the hood is that there are 2 Ethereum addresses out there on the Ethereum blockchain that I control. And so because I own the private key of those wallets, I can authorize transactions. So I authorized a movement of Ethereum from one Ethereum blockchain address to another on the Ethereum blockchain. But for simplicity's sake, as far as my interface goes, it just looks like I moved some Ethereum from this wallet to this wallet, right? But it was actually occurring way out there on the blockchain. So, all right, and I can look down here at the receiving transaction. I can click on it and basically click here to go out to the Explorer again. Just looking at that transaction again on the Ethereum blockchain. I didn't see any kind of alert from within Ledger Live that I was reimbursed for anything, but I'm satisfied that I could see that the transaction went through with a lower fee than was estimated, right? That's enough for me. The next improvement protocol I'll check is the EIP-712. I did a quick Google of EIP-712, stands for Ethereum Improvement Protocol. I'll put a link to this article down in the description. It gives you more information about what exactly it does. It's just an improvement in the way that messages are presented to the user. Before EIP-712, when you signed messages, you were seeing these long hexadecimal messages, and they didn't give you much information about what was going on. And now the messages can be formatted a lot better. more meaningful to a human user rather than just a long string. Now, these messages are from within MetaMask, which is another Ethereum-based wallet. You can use your device in conjunction with MetaMask. So basically, when you're using MetaMask to swap and trade or stake over on a DEX or something like that, you'll see more meaningful messages on your device when you sign transactions. Notice here when you go into the Ethereum app and scroll over to settings, click both buttons, you can scroll over and there's a new setting that covers EIP-712. You can basically turn that behavior on and off. Notice it says ignore filtering and display raw content. If you knew what you were doing and you wanted to look at the raw content, you could. By default, that functionality is disabled, which means if a developer is using EIP-712 to improve his messaging, you will see the improved format messages by default, right? And if you're a developer or something and you would rather look at the raw code, you can disable that feature here in settings. But it's basically going to improve user interface when you're using your device with DeFi and MetaMask. All right, so you don't really see that much in Ledger Live. And as was mentioned, the Cardano app has been improved, and I believe that some of the prices that were showing up for Cardano tokens were incorrect. So they fixed that bug so that now your ADA balance and your token balances, if you have Cardano-based tokens, are going to show up more accurately. I did also want to mention that the Ledger Nano pod is now available for those of you who are interested. I did a video earlier this week about the Ledger Nano pod for Black Friday, and they weren't available yet, but now they are. If you want to get your hands on one of these pods, they are available on the Ledger website, and they have two sizes, one for the Ledger Nano X and one for the Ledger Nano S Plus. Make sure you get the right size for your device. And they protect your ledger from dust and scratches and make it really easy to carry your ledger around safely and securely. And they look really nice. So just wanted to let you know that those are now available on the Ledger shop. So if you have any questions about anything I did, please throw them up in the comments and I'll do my best to get them answered. Don't forget, I do a live stream every Saturday night, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Please join me for the live stream from Michigan, where you can throw out questions and I'll do my best to get them answered. Hope to see you there. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. If you'd like to subscribe to my channel, I would appreciate it. When you subscribe, there's a little bell that you can click that will allow you to be alerted whenever I post new content. Once again, thanks for joining me and hope to see you again soon.